Defining agroforestry, forest farming. Forest farming is purposeful cultivation of crops in forests. Forest farming means purposefully introducing, cultivating, and managing understory crops together with a developing or an established forest. Forest farming has background in traditional and informal farming practiced in forests around the world over human generations. Forest farming differs from the most agroforestry practices, with forests being the starting point for establishing an agroforestry system, not the agricultural land. Also, urban food forests are forest farming systems, and they typically integrate trees and shrubs in multi-strata cultivation systems. Various products can be derived from forest farming. Both timber and non-timber forest crops are grown in forest farming systems, with focus on specialty crops and non-timber forest products. Non-timber forest products grown in these systems include food and food additives such as mushrooms, nuts, fruit, berries, herbs, spices, condiments, aromatic plants, game. Fibers, for instance, for construction, furniture, and clothing. Resins and gums, both plant and animal products for medicinal, cosmetic, and cultural purposes. Forest farming diversifies forest use for cultivating marketable products. With forest farming, forest-based revenue streams can be diversified. Additional income sources can be created, and overall profitability of forest can be improved when timber is not the only marketable product from the forest. Managing multi-species and multi-strata forest farming structures require knowledge, skills, and understanding of forest ecosystem and agroforestry dynamics. In this context, the forest farming practices explored by AF4EU expand the understanding of these agroforestry systems and business opportunities related to them. Diversifying forest production with forest farming. Diversifying forest production makes forest farms more resilient to market and climate change conditions, and this also contributes to rural revitalization. Both products, such as mushrooms, honey and fruit, and services, such as carbon sequestration, water quality, and biodiversity, can be obtained through diversifying forest production. The maintenance of a mature hedge generates significant amount of green waste. The pruning residues from the hedge can be shredded to produce ramial chipped wood. The ramial chipped wood can be spread directly on soil or composted, which makes its nutrients available to the crops. Besides rural areas, agroforestry can be practiced also in urban areas. In different parts of Europe, agroforestry established in public spaces is used for education and environmental education as a measure to increase comfort in urban environments, as a method to create stronger community spirit, and for producing food. Improving ecosystem functions with forest farming. Bolleakkers fields are a unique landscape feature of the Waasland, a historical region in northern Belgium. These square, slightly elevated fields were likely created in the 14th and 15th centuries to improve the drainage and fertility of the poorly water-permeable loamy soil. Today they are under threat from land consolidation and intensive farming practices. Agroforestry offers an opportunity to preserve bolle fields. By combining crops such as clover, wheat, cover crops, and hemp with rows of trees, a sustainable system can be created, which produces biomass and stores carbon, enhances biodiversity, and positions agriculture as a buffer between natural areas, industry, and residential zones. Tree lines and hedgerows improve water management, enhance soil fertility, and act as natural windbreaks. Land abandonment and agricultural mechanization of the Mediterranean internal areas have caused profound hydrogeomorphological instability with severe soil erosion and landslides. Depopulation of rural areas has been accompanied by the degradation of a rural system oriented towards good agroforestry practices and maintenance of large areas of meadows and pastures. In this context, natural engineering with agroforestry can provide appropriate techniques to solve or reduce soil degradation problems, promoting environmental rehabilitation through the restoration of vegetation cover and increased stability of slopes. Multifunctional trees in forest farming systems. Honey locust is one example of tree species that can be introduced as a multifunctional tree in forest farming systems. This tree species is well suited for challenging conditions such as pollution, soil compaction, drought, and extreme temperatures. Honey locust fixes atmospheric nitrogen, supports biodiversity, and provides nutritional resources for wildlife. Its deep pivoting root system stabilizes soil and improves rainfall infiltration, thus reducing the risk of erosion and flooding. Honey locust can be planted in an agroforestry system as timber. The wood can be used for furniture, posts, and even railroad ties. Thorny varieties can be used for creating defensive hedges. Honey locust also fits well into livestock systems. Its foliage, especially the young shoots, can be used as fodder for animals. Resilient to drought and well adapted to harsh conditions, honey locust is particularly resilient to climate change. Mushroom production with forest farming. Wild mushrooms stand out for their diversity and their numerous applications in pharmaceutical, biotechnological, and food industries, representing an income source to complement wood production. Forest management plays a crucial role in the development of mushrooms, directly influencing their diversity and productivity. Practices such as tree thinning, pruning, and undergrowth clearing alter the conditions of light, humidity, and soil composition, affecting the habitats where fungi thrive. Mushroom cultivation provides a substantial income for thousands of farmers while offering a nutritious and sustainable food source for consumers. Mushroom production can be included in any agroforestry system with suitable conditions. Shiitake mushroom is the most widely cultivated mushroom in agroforestry in the temperate region. Honey production and forest farming. Honey production is the main forest farming activity promoted across Europe by national apiculture programs and rural development programs, mainly due to the crucial role that honeybee colonies play in plant pollination. In this context, honey production integrated into agroforestry systems can enhance cross-pollination and therefore increase crop yields while also contributing to food and income security for people living in rural areas. Understanding contribution of bees and pollinating insects to support biodiversity and ecosystem functionality is essential in activities aiming at enhancing and protecting landscapes and agriculture. In the documentary movie More Than Honey by Markus Imhoff, The importance of bees and their role in ecosystem processes is explored in detail. An example from Greece, in the area of Agrofa in Evrytania, showcases how organic beekeeping is practiced and managed by traditional methods. Mobile beehives are used, which are placed in forest and agroforestry areas according to the seasonal flowering of plants and trees. At the same time, the process is supported by a system of wireless cameras, hive scales, and the use of geospatial data such as GPS, which allows the identification of sites with limited pollination and the selection of optimal locations for the placement of the hives. Storytelling is an important part of any business activities. A honey company example from Finland showcases how turning negative rural storylines into narratives of attractive rural places is a marketing and branding method which emphasizes authentic connections to place. It consists of mixing story, history, and locality with generational experience, rural and urban mix, and visual and aesthetic emphasis on clarity and minimalism in marketing and branding through giving emphasis to negative features associated with countryside. As agroforestry products are typically produced in the countryside, in storytelling through turning negative storylines into attractive rural places, farmers sell more than a product. They sell imaginaries, emotional connections to a place, and feelings of belonging to rural places. Design of land practices in forest farming. In recent decades, the occurrence of extreme climatic events such as storms, floods, or forest fires has had wide-ranging impacts, not only on ecosystems, but also on economy, human health, and well-being. Therefore, developing innovative intervention techniques for forest regeneration is crucial, particularly those that offer solutions to accelerate forest regrowth after extreme events and create a more stable and resilient forest structure. Careful selection of tree species for forest regeneration is essential, especially when agroforestry strategies are adopted to address damage caused by extreme climatic events. An example of this can be found in Galicia, northwest Spain, where biodiverse plantations are established after forest fires. Forest restoration with medicinal and aromatic plants after a forest fire has been done in Galicia, northwest Spain. Early, intermediate, and late value chains derived from the forest restoration need to be considered in forest regeneration after forest fires. As forest restoration is a costly activity, careful consideration is needed in terms of products planned to be produced, so that they can benefit both people and society.